Namaste. Hello and welcome to Zoom Yoga number 50. As ever, we'll start with the opening quote. Clinging to the past makes you unavailable for the present. Clinging to the past makes you unavailable for the present. So if you'd like to lie down in Shavasana, and I'll mention a wee parable which clarifies clinging to the past makes you unavailable for the present. So down in Shavasana, floppy feet, legs slightly more than hip width apart. Have your palms facing upwards, arms folded out slightly away from the torso. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. So you don't want it arched away back, you don't want it tucked in. Lift up the left shoulder and just gently roll it back down. Lift up the right shoulder, just gently roll it back down. So you're spending a wee time to invest in the time that you're relaxing down on the ground. So what you're trying to do is with each full yogic breath, as you exhale, you're trying to increase the surface area of the body, surrendering down onto the ground. So in Shavasana, you're letting go of the old to make space for the new. So the full yogic breath, you're inflating the abdomen, expanding the rib cage, and you're filling up that final top fifth of the lungs with air, the clavicle area. Waiting for your natural pause, and then slowly releasing. So try to become aware of the areas of the body that are actually touching the ground. And with each exhalation, you're trying to increase the surface area, surrendering to the ground. So I'll mention the monk story. So two monks are walking back from a pilgrimage. And they come to the side of this fast-flowing river, and there's an elderly lady sitting there waiting to cross. She asked one of the monks if he would kindly carry her across the river. He said, of course. So he carried her across. When he returned, his fellow monk had disappeared. So he walked briskly for 3 hours until he caught up with his fellow monk. The fellow monk wouldn't speak to him. He says, what's wrong with you? Why are you not talking to me? He says, you know what's wrong with me. We're not allowed to touch women, and you carried that woman across the river. He says, yes, but I put her down 3 hours ago. So we all carry something that's harboring our thoughts, creating tension, creating tightness, creating heaviness. So at any time you can lie down in Shavasana and start to breathe. Be honest with yourself and start to release. The mind-body relaxer. You let go of the old to make space for the new. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Immersing myself in this present moment, I know it's a beautiful moment. Wait for your natural pause. To release the breath, release the tension, release the baggage. So Shavasana is also known as Mrit Asana. It's a Sanskrit word, which means the dead man's pose. So you die into the old to make space for the new. So have a wee look and see what you're carrying. See what emotional baggage you're carrying. your rucksack of rubbish that you've carried on your back for a period of time, have a wee look and see what isn't serving you, which isn't working to your advantage anymore, and let it go. Slow, smooth and deep breaths. Full yogic breath. Inflate the abdomen like a balloon. As the lungs fill up, expand the rib cage. And then a final puff of air in the clavicle area. And then slowly release the breath and start again. So 3 more breaths in your own time. And trying to bring awareness to those areas that are still tight, that are still giving you resistance. Remember, wherever you place the mind, wherever you place the breath, relaxation will occur. So take your feet and place them beside your seat. Feel that they're parallel. Take your palms and place them at the top of your thighs, and we're going to do simple sit-ups. This way protects the lower back. So as we inhale, you raise up after your inhalation as you exhale and just slide the hands up the thighs to wherever's comfortable. They may reach the top, they may reach the knees, they may not. As you exhale and slowly lower down. So you can come up and down with each breath, or you can exhale and come up and have a few breaths holding, contracting the abdominal muscles. So do whatever works for you. So you inhale to begin with, exhale as you slide the hands up to the knees or wherever they arrive at. Wait for your natural pause. Maybe that's enough contraction for some of you, and then you exhale down, inhale down, sorry. Or you can have a few breaths in this position and lower down. You can have a comfort breath, find the rhythm, find the speed, find the number of repetitions that work for you today, in this moment. So you can come up and down with each breath, or you can come up and hold, then lower down, have a few comfort breaths. Remember, once you start shaking or start getting out of breath, or there's a buildup of lactic in the stomach muscles, lactic acid, then you've gone too far, so you stop. Saturate the body with prana. Of course, you can stop the video and continue for as long as you wish. But if that suffices for now, we're going to raise our hands over our head, stretch out our arms, keeping the feet in the same position. Stretch your arms out behind the head. And we're just going to elongate the torso, separating the intercostal muscles and lifting the shoulders. So we inhale and stretch out. You'll feel the lovely stretch. Wait for your natural pause and relax. Really enjoy this stretch. So your feet are beside your seat. You may be able to straighten arms, you may not. They may be flat on the ground. They may be bent and raised a little. It doesn't matter. Just inhale, stretch through those arms. Hold and release. Of course, what we did last week, the anal lock, Mula Bandha, you can apply that with your inhalation. As you exhale, you can pull the stomach back. You can pull it up behind the rib cage with the Uddiyana Bandha. You can apply the bandhas in positions like these, if you wish. So for example, you inhale, apply your anal lock. Hold as you stretch through. Exhale as you release, pull the abdomen back. And then pull it up behind the rib cage and relax. You could lie and do this for 15, 20 minutes, increase energy, oxygenate the blood, calm the nervous system, release the body of tension, multiple benefits. So a couple more stretches, with or without the locks. Sense that your feet are parallel, and we're just going to raise the seat up. Inhale, lift the seat up and stretch through the arms. Now take your feet slightly closer to your seat. So we want to stretch the thigh muscles and increase the contractions in the gluteals. So we're not going for an aggressive arch. We're just inhaling as we lift up, and you'll feel that the gluteals will be a bit tighter now, and you get a lovely stretch through the thighs and stretch through the arms and relax. So 2 or 3 breaths. And if you feel that's sufficient, then you stay in that position. But if you want a slightly stronger contraction and stretch, take the heels a bit closer again to the seat. And this time you'll barely have to apply the lift, and you'll feel a very strenuous contraction of the gluteals and a stretch through the thigh muscles. We're going to be doing the half camel later, so this is in preparation for that. But you get the idea. Inhale, stretch through the arms as you lift, not aggressively. If you think of any more movement, then move the heels the last time, and then this time you'll get such a strong contraction and stretch. If it's too much, you just come down, you lower the arms down so they reach the ground the same time as the buttock. But you're having to make minimal lift to feel the contraction and stretch. A couple more stretches if you wish. Slow, smooth, deep breaths to rid the body of any lactic acid. You come down in an exhalation. Lower the seat So it touches the ground the same time as the hands. You're almost lowering your bottom down onto your heels if your feet are so close. Stretch your limbs out. Palms down the side of the body. And we're just going to inhale and contract the arms and the legs without lifting. So we inhale and contract, stretch the arms, contract the legs, and soften. So if you're contracting the legs and the thigh muscles, the calf muscles, the ankles will lift up a little. As you inhale, you're pushing the arms away, and they may come off the ground a little as well, but you're not consciously lifting. Inhale, contract, stretch and contract. And this is just helping to ease away any lactic acid that was built up in the bridge. And as you exhale, of course, you're softening and surrendering all your body weight onto the ground. Now, if you wish, and you've no lower back problems, we'll lift the arms to the side of the hips and the feet a few inches off the ground as we look towards the toes. So we inhale, lift up, look towards the toes, and we just take our hands up the side of our thighs and our feet a few inches off the ground, just enough to clear the calf muscles. We don't want them away up too high. It doesn't add to the posture, just enough for the calf muscles to be off the ground. Again, you can hold for as long as you wish, and then slowly lower down, controlled. Excuse me. Don't lift your legs if you have lower back problems. Inhale, look towards the toes. Exhale as you go down. A couple more of these. In your own time. Again, you can pause the video. You can practice this for 10 minutes if you wish. If you really want to build up the muscles, immerse yourself in the posture. But usually a few rounds are sufficient if you're practicing a full class. If you wish to make it a little more challenging, we're going to clench the fists, the face, and the feet. So we come up into the boat again, lift up, and you clench and contract everything possible. So we inhale as we come up, fists, look towards the feet, clench your face, contract everything. And then lower down. As I've said before, there's a group of bodybuilders who are building the body up just by inhaling and contracting individual muscles and holding them, as opposed to lifting heavy weights. So again, this is a good one of ridding the body of tension. Inhale as we come up, fists contract, face, everything. And then lower down. If you're getting out of breath, you take 2, 3, 4 comfort breaths and you continue. If your muscles are aching or shaking, then you've gone too far. One more if you wish. Inhale, hold the breath, contract. And lower down. Now we're going to do the balancing boat, which then means that from the balancing boat, you can come up and sit upright, or you can slip your hands behind your lower back and gently push up. But if the balancing boat is for you, we inhale, we come up, we lift the legs slightly higher so the hands are level with the knees. This is the balancing boat. You can stay here balancing, breathing. When you've had enough, you just tip forward and you're up. Alternatively, you can slip your hands behind your lower back and push up. You can roll onto your side and push up. Now we're just going to go into a simple stretch of the torso, stretching out the arms. So we inhale as we walk the fingers forward. And then you push back with your buttocks onto your heels, tuck your head in. Obviously, if I tuck my head in, I'll eat my microphone, but inhale, walk forward with fingers, and then stretch back. So you're physically walking with the fingers, lengthening the arms, lifting up the shoulder girdle, and then as you exhale, you're pushing away with the hips, sitting back in your heels. A few more. And if you want to change your stretch, you can take your palms and place them together. And that changes the stretch in the shoulders. Palms together, push out the arms, stretch back. And then you take your hands, sweep them around the side of your body into the pose of the child. So you're tucking your head in, hands down the side, round beside your feet. Tuck your head in firmly between your knees. Really allow the arms at the side to flop out, and you'll feel a nice stretch between the shoulders. And as you inhale, feel that you're stretching that area between the shoulder blades. So you can stay in this position in the pose of the child, but if you wish to stretch your neck a little, you can raise your seat up and roll onto the back of your head. If you feel a bit uncomfortable doing this, then extra security, you can take your hands and place them in line with your head. So it gives you extra reassurance that you're not going to topple over. If you've high blood pressure or any problems with your eyes, you don't practice this for so long or not at all. But to come out of it, keep your chin tucked in and slowly unfurl, keeping your eyes closed, back to sitting in Vajrasana. As I say, you can stay in that position for long enough. It gives a lovely oxygenated blood to the brain, stretches the neck. But you come out of it very slowly, reduces the chance of being dizzy. Let the blood trickle back into the body. So sitting back on the heels, this isn't for everyone. A lot of people find this uncomfortable. Remember, you can place a cushion under your ankles. You can place something soft between your ankles and your buttocks. This is a wonderful meditative pose. Keep the back straight, keep the shoulders soft, keep the neck long. Try to keep the chin parallel to the ground. And again, this is another position you can just sit and let go of the old to make space for the new. So have a wee think. Is there anything that's bothering you? Is there anything that's been on your mind today, yesterday? Something you've been carrying for a few days? This is your chance just to let it go. It is that simple. Take a breath in and you choose to release it. It doesn't need to bother you anymore. It's never the action, but the reaction. So feel your shoulders loosening, softening, your neck lengthening, your spine is straight. You don't have a care in the world sitting here. There's nothing you can do about anything, but focus on the posture. And smile. My body is rested. My mind is calm. My heart is at peace. My spirit soars. Just check that your spine is still straight. Your shoulders are soft. Your neck is long. This is another position where you can apply the locks, the bandhas, if you wish. As you inhale, you can apply the anal lock, Mula Bandha. Hold it. After the pause, you release, exhale, pull the abdomen back to the spine, and then up behind the rib cage, Uddiyana Bandha. And of course, as you're contracting with your anal lock and your stomach retraction, everything else remains soft and free of tension. 2 more breaths. You soften your forehead. Relax your eyes, your cheekbones, your ears, your jaw, your gums, your teeth, your tongue. Relax and smile. Free serotonin. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. So open your eyes, take a big breath. We're going to thread the needle. So we come up off our ankles into a basic cat position. We've done this many times. Check that your hands are under your shoulders. If you have problems with your wrists, you can move them slightly further forward. Changes the angle. Check that your knees are hip width. This is important for the balance. And we're going to inhale as we raise the right arm. Just take it up to the first point of resistance. No matter way out. It doesn't matter. The first point of resistance, and we take 3 breaths. And then the 4th breath, you come down, feed it through under the body. You can stop on the elbow and rest here, or you can come right through and rest on your shoulder. And we'll raise the left arm. to the first point of resistance, 3 breaths. Or as many breaths as you wish. Down we come with the left arm, we push up. Now we raise the left arm. There's a click there in my body. This is why we do it slowly. This is why we do it with awareness and with the breath. So when things find a realignment, there's no damage. And then your own time, you come down with your left arm, thread it through. Again, if you're not so flexible today, you can rest on the elbow, or you can come right down onto the shoulder. Up with the right arm. Again, that's another click in my lower back. So you'll be aware of your own weaker points of your body, so you have to be careful and protect them. Push up, and then we're back to the beginning. So one more round in your own time. Two, three, four, 5 breaths in each position. Nice and easy. Try and feel what's happening to your body with each movement. And then you're in control of the posture. And then when you finish, sit back in Vajrasana again. One hand on top of the other with the thumbs touching. Just creates a circuit for the energy to flow throughout the body. Again, we're just trying to let go of the old to make space for the new. But you have to be honest with yourself. Think of something that you've been carrying for far too long and it doesn't serve any purpose now. This is the time to let it go. Not tomorrow or the day after, now. Forgive yourself, forgive the people involved, and move on. You can apply mental alternate nostril breathing if you wish, in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. You can apply your bandhas. You can say a mantra. It's limitless the number of tricks you can take from your toolbox. One more breath. Then we'll raise ourselves up and we'll try a half camel. So the easiest way to try the half camel is tuck your toes under, which raises your heels, which obviously puts them closer to your hand. And you just check, if you take your right hand, check you can reach the right heel, left hand, left heel. It's not possible for everyone. So if you think that's too easy, leaning back and touching your right heel and you don't think anything's happening, take your right hand and see if you can go around and touch your left heel. Remember, your toes are tucked under, so the heels are quite high. And if you feel that's okay, then you can start just taking the right hand, inhale as you stretch out the hands, and you lean back and grab the right hand on the right heel and raise the left arm. We'll start, this is the most basic posture of this style. So inhale, stretch up with the left arm, lift right up, and then soften. We'll just do 3 breaths. Inhale, right up, and soften. And then you contract your thighs and gluteals. As you inhale, as you come up, you need that contraction to give you the lift, and then soften down. I mean, this is very simple at this stage, but the reason I'm teaching like this is for later on. When you take the toes out, the heels are further away, and you go to the opposite ankle. So we inhale as we stretch out the arms, and then we'll take the left hand around onto the left heel as we raise the right arm. Inhale as we lift up, stretch up, and soften. This is good for digestion, good for stretching the abdominal muscles. It's good for the lower back. Inhale, lift up, and soften. To come out, you contract the thighs and the gluteals, and that gives you the core, the abdominals to come up. And down with the arms. So this time we'll take the right hand and we'll go to the left heel. So we inhale, and then we come around and down. Because you've already checked that you can reach them. Inhale, lift up and stretch, and soften. So we've done all the preliminaries, we've stretched the shoulders, we've contracted all these areas. And remember, to come out, you don't just put all the strain on the lower back. That's what I've done there without contracting the legs or the buttocks. You prepare yourself, inhale, contract the thighs and buttocks, that gives you your core, and then you come out of it. So if you wish, you can try the full camel with the toes tucked under, which means you put the right hand to the right leg, the left hand to the left leg. So you can check this, you can go back and be in this position, right hand and right heel. And that gives you the confidence that you can lean back if you're not quite sure if it's for you, and you have that support there. This position, which is quite strong. So that's the easy way of getting into it. You go back, right and right, and you use that, and you can lean back with your left and find your left heel. Equally, if you're more confident and you're more flexible, you can inhale, raise the arms, and just go back and know that they're going to be there, and you have the flexibility. So there are always many different ways of doing this. So you can inhale, push forward, stretch the throat and look back. Or you can look forward and soften. So it's quite a strong posture, this. And this is, remember, this is with the toes tucked under, so the heels are higher. You can do the very same with the toes flat, but it's much, much stronger. So again, to come out, you can do it with the sure way of just releasing one arm, and that's still giving you the support, and then you contract and come out. Or if you have the confidence and the surety that your muscles and your flexibility will be able to handle it, you inhale, contract, and then you can come up and rely on the muscles. But you have to be sure you have that strength and flexibility. So I'll leave you to do one of whatever, whether it's the right hand to the left heel, or you want to go back into the full camel. So pick whatever one has worked for you there and repeat it once more. Whether you want to have the safety of putting one hand down as you search for the other heel, going back. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, lean back. And soften into the preferred position you've got yourself into. When you're ready to come out, release one arm, use the other one as a support, or contract the thighs and the gluteals and use that as the strength to come out. Release your toes, let the blood rush back in. Of course, you could have crossed the arms there as well, or you could have released the toes and it's a completely different posture. But that gives you an idea of what's involved at the basic level. Just take a few smooth, deep breaths. Get rid of that lactic acid. I believe it's downward facing dog now. No, it's not. We're going to lunge. We're going to do a lunge. So we'll come forward with our hands in a basic cat position, and we're going to take the right foot and place it the outside of the right hand. So it's a lunge. So get comfortable. Remember, you have the choice of the palms flat on the ground, as I have at the moment, or you can have the fists, or you can have the fingers, as long as you use the thumb as a post, have the thumb directly under the thumb joint, which will allow you. And as you come forward, I can take my foot further forward, so I will do that. And if you play about, have a try. Do you want the fingers concave to the back? Do you want the fists? Or do you want the palms on the ground? Which completely changes the lunge. I'll go with fists today. Inhale, and as you exhale, you just gently come forward, you concave the back, and look up. And we'll stay in the lunge and just start to breathe. Again, you can apply alternate nostril. You can have a mantra voice. As long as you're occupying the mind from the toes to the foot, the ankle, the shin, the knee, the thigh. And feel what's happening in your body. Your choices are limitless. But you must enjoy it, otherwise. And there's little point doing this if you're worrying about what happened yesterday or worrying about what may happen tomorrow. It's pointless. And smile. One more breath. Slowly release and change side. You slowly come out of it. Straighten the leg if you can. And then change side. Left leg. Outside of left hand. Check it, you've still got the width. Check your lunge before you decide on which hand movement you're going to use. And then settle into it. It isn't about bettering what you did yesterday, because it depends the emotional impact that your body has gone through. Relax into it, enjoy it. Trying to concave your back, so you're just trying to soften the muscles in the mid-back, create a wee arch. And just one more breath and then ease your way out of it. Step back, we're going to go into downward facing dog. So take a few comfort breaths if you need. You can always do a basic cat in this position just to ease things off. And when you feel you're ready, tuck your toes under. We're going to do downward facing dog. We're going to stretch our calves by bending each knee, and then we can sweep through into upward facing dog. So we come up. Actually, I can't talk too much in this position with the microphone. Push through the arms, lift up through the hips, soften through the heels. And then release each knee, which will stretch the opposite calf. And you're still trying to keep the class of your position, so you're not lowering your backside when you're releasing each knee. And then if you wish, you come up onto your toes, through. Soften the shoulders, look up, upward facing dog, and you're keeping your torso off the ground, and your arms are working as a post. And soften with your shoulders, lengthening the throat, breathing smoothly and deeply. There's no shake, there's no wobble. Then, if you're not, then you just come out swiftly back into upward facing dog. Sorry, downward facing dog. So if you wish, you can walk your feet in to a forward bend, or you can do one more. A lovely stretch to the abdomen. Strengthening, stretching. Push through the arms, lift up through the hips, soften through the heels. And then walk in the feet. Bend the knees until you're in a comfortable forward bend. Release the hands, fingers pointing backwards. Release the lower back, release the neck, head forward. As you exhale, you pull the abdomen back to the spine. It doesn't matter if your knees are a little bent, but if you want to try and straighten them, that's okay too, but it's not essential. And then slowly unfurl in your own time. The slower, the better. And then lean back. Open the arms, open the shoulders. Namaste. So just allow the body to recalibrate. So you're contracting, you're standing tall. Imagine someone has a thread at the center of your body. Sorry, at the center of your head. So what happens is it's an ever so gentle contraction of the gluteals, gentle contraction of the abdominals, and the chest opens up. The arms are loose, and it just feels so comfortable. Just by standing tall. And you can feel the adrenaline, the warmth, the blood, the lymph. Let the body settle down. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. You've released a lot of tension, it's a lot of stretching. So there's more space for the energy to flow, which makes you lighter. Maybe you've got rid of some of your rucksack of rubbish, the stuff that we carry about. Rucksack of rubbish. Let the body breathe naturally. You're just standing tall. 3 more breaths. And we're going to do just a couple ever so gentle squats. So get your feet in a position. They can be narrow, they can be wide. You can test it out, see. Take them narrow, see the pressure on the knees or the thighs. Get a comfortable position. We're not doing deep squats. So just, that's about right for me. I feel something's happening, but nothing too stern. We're going to inhale as the arms just go forward. And we're just going to lower down to the first point of resistance. Remember, we've done quite a lot in the legs already, so you're not going to weigh down deep and put in unnecessary pressure. Just first point of resistance. You can take a couple breaths in this position, or you can just inhale as you come back up, raise the arms, and exhale down. Take a comfort breath. So you decide if you want to stay in the position for a couple of breaths, or just come up and down with each breath. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, down you go. We'll stay for 1 breath, eh? Inhale, and then just soften. So you're not trying to lunge down, you're just allowing the body to release. And then inhale as you come up. But you get the idea. You have to decide how many rounds you do, the depth of your squat, where you're at today. So again, we're going to do the swaying palm tree. You can have that with your legs closer together, wider. We're just going to adjust any items of clothing. Inhale as we raise the clasp. I've got the palms facing towards my head. You can turn it around if you want a stronger stretch, but we'll keep it easy. We've done enough stretching in that style. Inhale up, and you just exhale to the right. Sway in palm tree. Inhale as you come up. Elongate the left. Exhale to the opposite side. And you'll feel a wee stretching inside of your legs. Inhale up, nice and easy. Elongate. Exhale down. So nothing aggressive. If you think of what we've done with the spine, just a little lateral movement. We've twisted, we've bent forward and backwards. This is just a sideways movement. As long as the top shoulder is not coming forward, it's a lateral movement. If the top shoulder comes forward, is just going down sideways, it's a twist. And just stretch up, lift up, lift up, lift up. And then gently release. Just checking. Okay, so just stand tall again. And I want you to take a breath directly in the back of the neck. And I want you to flush that breath and energy down through the shoulders and the arms. Because we've done a lot of work. So forget about your nose. Take a breath directly into the back of the neck. Wait for your natural pause. And as you exhale, take that energy, take that breath, and then pass it across your shoulders, down through your arms to your fingertips. And you're softening that area. Just as I did that, as I exhaled, my shoulders dropped. So again, wherever you put the breath, wherever you put awareness, healing, recovery, relaxation does occur. Don't take my word for it. Try it. Breath in right into the back of the neck. Wait for your natural pause. And then as you exhale, take that breath away from the neck, over each shoulder, and through the arms. As I do that, I'm getting tingling and warmth right down to my fingertips, and a wonderful sense of relaxation. The mantra, the bija mantra, bija means seed. The bija mantra is hung. It's a Sanskrit word, hung namaha. So you can add that if you wish as you inhale. Hung, saturate the back of the neck with energy, with prana. Namaha, which is just re-emphasizing the hung, namaha, as you exhale and soften. My arms are like ragdoll now. They're very loose and free. And it feels delicious. Hung Namaha. Aesthetics, the serious yogis from hundreds of years ago, they sat in their caves and worked through all this stuff from an experiential perspective. And this is what they found. It may work for you, it may not, but at least try. Hung Namaha. One more breath, one more mantra. And then I was going to do warrior 1 and 2. This is, if you immersed yourself in the previous postures, we're going to do the bow and arrow. So we're going to separate our feet. Check that your heels are at the side of your mat. So your heels are right on the edge of your mat, so it means that you're in line. Greater chance for keeping your balance. Quite a wide stance. And we're going to swivel on the right foot. And then we just take the left toes in ever so slightly, 45 degrees. So it means you can turn around and hold your bow and arrow. You've got your bow. So check that your position is comfortable. Check when you come forward that your knee isn't way beyond over the top of the ankle. It can be anywhere below the ankle. It can be here, here, any of these positions, which is good. But you don't want it away like this, too much pressure on the knee. To keep this area open, you're imagining that the inside of the right knee is always trying to overtake the outside. So that keeps it open as opposed to the knee coming inward. Keep this leg straight, planted in the ground firmly. So you've got this wonderful stance. See, it's quite solid. Turn the torso around, stretch out with your right arm. When you take your left hand around, you're already in a strong position. When you take your left hand around, it won't reach your wrist. So you're having to stretch. Stretch, get that string of the bow, pull it back, keep the elbow up, take aim, and then release. You fired your arrow. So if this is too much for your leg, then you come out, have a wee break, take a few breaths. Then you get another arrow. Hold out your bow, back into the stance, stretch forward as far as you can. Stretch forward for that string, pull it back. You get the idea. So it's a wonderful stretch across the back. It's very strong in the thighs. You're keeping all of this open. You have the one more if it's for you, if you've got the strength in the legs. If not, there's no drama. Inhale, stretch, pull back. You can stay in this position long enough, breathing, stretching, take an aim. Keep your width, swivel on your right foot. Take it so your toes are pointing forward. Swivel on your left. And then now you can take your right foot round 45 degrees. So it means you can open up the torso right around. And remember, this is the same position for warrior one. Come forward, check, because each side is different. Check that you're comfy. Check you've got your balance. I can go a bit further. You try to keep this area open. You try to keep this leg straight and planted. Inside of the knee is trying to overtake the outside, so it opens up. And you're in a position to start. So you can barely reach the hand, so you have to stretch. Get a hold of that string, pull back. Get the idea. Stretch forward. Inhale as you pull back. One more if you wish. Swivel on your ankles. Heel toe back in. You don't lift all the body weight onto, you don't do this and lift up. You heel toe back in, which protects the body. Stand tall. And just have another look. How's the emotional baggage now? As a rucksack, have you managed to get rid of anything? Or is it still just as heavy? That's okay. It doesn't matter what you've managed to get rid of. It matters that you've tried. Allow the body to settle down. Lie down in Shavasana. So if you think of the bow and arrow, as you settle down in Shavasana, floppy feet, slightly more than hip width apart, the palms facing upwards. The chin is not painting the ceiling, the shoulders are soft. If you think of the bow and arrow, the mantra is the bow, you are the arrow, and spirit is the target. So when you're saying a mantra, the arrow is taking that mantra towards your spirit, which affects change. So Shavasana, the mind-body relaxer. Settle down. Check that your lower back, you've got a slight space. Most of us have a slight lordosis in our lower back. So take that space and gently flatten it onto the ground. As you inhale, gently flatten it down, hold and release. So remember, clinging to the past makes you unavailable for the present. Clinging to the past makes you unavailable for the present. So as you exhale, try and sense any areas of the body that are still giving you resistance. And this is where the emotional deposits have been planted. And of course, these emotional deposits go to the weaker parts of the body because they're easily to attach to. So as you're lying there exhaling, try and sense any areas that are refusing to let go. And that's where you take the breath, you take the awareness to that area, and you focus on that specific spot. You breathe into it, breathe through it, and let go. So continue your practice, and I'll finish with the end quote. There are only 2 days in the year where nothing can be done. Yesterday and tomorrow. However, in the present, everything is possible. There are only 2 days in the year where nothing can be done. Yesterday and tomorrow. However, in the present, everything is possible. Especially if you reduce the weight of your rucksack of rubbish. It serves no purpose apart from weighing you down and holding you back. As always, deep breaths with much love. Namaste. Thank you.